September 7, 1996, approximately 11:15 p.m., outside of the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Tupac Amaru Shakur, one of the most iconic rappers of all time, was gunned down in a drive-by shooting. Black BMW 7 Series driven by Marion, also known as Suge Knight, the CEO of Death Row Records. They were waiting at a red light at the intersection of East Flamingo Road and Covo Lane when a white Cadillac pulled up next to them and opened fire. Tupac was hit by 4 bullets, 2 in the chest, 1 in the arm, and 1 in his thigh. He was rushed to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, where he died 6 days later on September 13, 1996. The case went cold for over 25 years. But today, ladies and gentlemen, the case has finally been solved.
What's up, guys, and welcome to my channel. It's your boy K to the motherfucking C, and you already know what time it is. You probably read the title and you've already seen the thumbnail. Yes, they have caught Tupac's killer. First of all, there's been a lot of theories around what happened to Tupac that night. Some of those theories is that he had a thing for Machiavelli, and Machiavelli, as you guys know, talk about faking his own death, and that's one of the most famous theories about Tupac. And when that hologram performance came,
you know what the fuck this is? What up, Dre? I'm chillin'. What's up, Pop? What up, Snoop? What's up, my nigga? What the fuck is up, Coachella? Throw up a motherfucking finger. Yeah. Machiavelli is this.
everyone thought, oh my god, he's still alive. And the other theory is that Suge Knight was the one who set him up, and that's the one that I believed for so many years. But today, 2023 September, they have finally solved the case, and we're gonna watch the press conference together and talk about it. Let's see how it all went down. Let's go.
For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, aka Keefy D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur.
Good job, officer.
Davis was arrested this morning by my LVMPD criminal apprehension team, and this investigation started on the night of September 7th, 1996. It is far from over.
Rest in
It has
peace,
taken
Tupac.
countless hours, really decades, of work by the men and women of our homicide section to get to where we are today. Several of those detectives that are standing here with us include Detective Cliff Mogg, the lead detective on this case. He is now retired.
Good
Well, I
for
know
him.
there's been many people who did not believe that the murder of Tupac Shakur was important to this police department. I'm here to tell you that was simply not the case. It was not the case back then, and it is not the case today. Our goal at LVMPD has always been to hold those accountable and responsible for Tupac's violent murder accountable. Just like we do for every homicide victim in our city. Every single victim, every life that is lost is important and remains a priority to this police department. As we methodically built this case to move forward with an arrest, it was also important that at the same time, we're building towards a successful prosecution. We work closely with our esteemed district attorney, Steve Wolfson, in his office to ensure that is going to happen. Mr. Davis's own words reinvigorated our case in 2018. I'm going to give you some of those details, and I'm going to introduce to you our homicide lieutenant, Jason Johansson, and he will provide you many of the details on how we got here today. Lieutenant.
Thank you, Sheriff, and thank you, everybody, for being here today. My name is Jason Johansson, and I'm the Homicide Lieutenant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. And my goal here today is to walk you through our investigation and what led us to the indictment of Dwayne Davis, also known as Keefe D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur. This case has been reviewed by our homicide team and homicide detectives for over 2.5 decades. And ultimately, our persistence in this investigation has paid off. Let me walk you through a timeline of events that as we know them right now. Prior to September 7th of 1996, as we all know, Tupac Shakur was an artist who was signed with Death Row Records. And that Death Row Records and its CEO, Marion Suge Knight, were closely affiliated
Rest in peace, brother.
with gangs, and that they had an ongoing feud with the Southside Compton Crips. Dwayne Davis was the leader and shot caller of the Southside Compton Crips.
Keefe D.
And both of these gangs operated out of the Southern California area of Compton.
You fucked
On the
up.
night of September 7th of 1996, Tupac Shakur, along with Suge Knight, and members of their entourage, which include members of Mob Piru, came to Vegas to attend the Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
For you guys who don't know, I guess everyone knows if you live in America, Piru is the Bloods, Piru Bloods, and Keefe D. Davis was a member and shot caller for the Crips.
Members of the Southside Compton Crips, which included Dwayne Davis, along with his nephew Orlando Anderson, were also in attendance at the same event.
Orlando Anderson, the guy who got beat up, and I'm sure he's going to say that right now.
As both were leaving the fight, members of Death Row Records spotted Orlando Anderson near an elevator bank inside the MGM, and at that time they began to kick and punch him near that elevator bank.
He really fucked up. Now this Orlando guy tried to snatch Tupac's chain, his death row chain, and that's why this altercation happened. So he tried to snatch it before this happened, and under the fight between Mike Tyson and this other guy, I don't remember even his name, as he said, one of Tupac's crew members spotted Orlando, and that's when this went down.
I will now show you hotel security footage, as many of you have already seen, related to this incident. And on this incident, you will see Tupac Shakur, who's wearing a shiny satiny shirt, along with Marion Suge Knight, who's a large man in a brown suit, punching and kicking Orlando Anderson.
He got the beating of his life.
Following this incident, you'll see hotel security intervene, and then they will leave the area of the fight. Little did anyone know that it is this incident right here that would ultimately lead to the retaliatory shooting and death of Tupac Shakur. Following this incident, Tupac and Suge Knight both left the MGM to make their way to a post-fight party, which was to occur.
Doesn't Suge Knight look a bit suspicious in this photo? And Tupac looks like he really knew what's about to happen to him. Fuck, kind of crazy. I don't know, but tell me what you think in the comments.
At a local nightclub. At the same time, word had spread amongst members of the Southside Compton Crips of what had occurred inside the MGM. And then that's when Dwayne Davis began to devise a plan to obtain a firearm and retaliate against Suge Knight and Mr. Shakur for what occurred inside the hotel against Mr. Anderson. After Davis obtained a gun, he entered into a white Cadillac along with Terrence Brown, DeAndre Smith, and Orlando Anderson. Based on our investigation, this is where we know they were seated.
All of them deceased except Keefe D. And how unlucky for him after 27 years to be indicted for this murder.
As they were in the white Cadillac, Mr. Davis took the gun that he had obtained and provided it to the passengers in the rear seat of the vehicle. As they were as they were driving west on Flamingo Road near Koval, they located the black BMW which was driven by Suge Knight, and in the passenger seat was Tupac Shakur. And as they turned around, they pulled up near the passenger side of that vehicle and immediately began shooting at Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur.
Now, if you see the bullets, the ones who are taped on the back door, I guess that those who are on the back door are the two bullets that hit Tupac. Three bullets, I mean, that hit Tupac, like, because they came from the back. So behind Tupac, this is the passenger seat uh, that is taped to mark the place where the bullet went in. So two of those bullets, the ones who are on the upper side of the door, are the ones who hit him in the chest, because he got two shots in the chest, two in his lungs, one in his lung and one in his chest, and then he got hit in the arm and one in his thigh, and I guess that's the lowest one of the bullets on the front door.
Following that shooting, the white Cadillac fled the area southbound on Koval. And after our officers arrived on scene, Tupac was later transported to the University Medical Center, where he was treated medically and died approximately 6 days later on September 13th.
Damn.
My homicide section handled this investigation from its onset. In a short amount of time, what we knew was that we were working a gang investigation where our victims, our witnesses, and our suspects were all from Southern California and not local to Las Vegas. Within the first few months of the investigation, our detectives knew most of the information I just briefed you on. However, we never had the necessary evidence to bring this case forward and present it for criminal charges.
Did you hear what he just said? He said they never had the evidence. Though, let's try to, evidence will be counted as witnesses, key witnesses, people who saw the thing happen, or DNA from the crime scene, or fingerprints, or a gun with fingerprints on. So no video footage would have turned up until now, I guess, and there has been a lot of time for them to figure out if there's any DNA related to anyone in this situation, and I guess that's out of the picture. So the last thing I think it has to be a key witness. And if you guys know that Suge Knight has been in prison now for a couple of years, I think he's having some trouble in prison, and people want to kill him and attacked a lot of times. So I guess they have offered him witness protection or some kind of deal to get him out of prison. So if he gives them any kind of information regarding anything, and Tupac's murder would be a great thing to promote the police on media. That's why they're having a press conference. And this murder is one of the most highest profile murders unsolved in the history of America. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? Write in the comments.
As time went on, this case had been reviewed multiple times by different investigators assigned to my section, but it wasn't until 2018 that this case was reinvigorated as additional information came to light related to this homicide. Specifically, Dwayne Davis's own admissions to his involvement in this homicide investigation that he provided to numerous different media outlets. In our section, we knew at this time that this was likely our last time to take a run at this case to successfully solve this case.
Well, that was it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. Write me what you think about this arrest in 2023, 27 years later. Yeah, guys, I hope to see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you did. If you didn't, you don't have to. Peace out.